History is full of strange twists, but few are as astonishing as this. Adolf Hitler's own nephew fought against him in World War II. William Patrick Hitler, born in Britain, wore the uniform of the United States Navy. He actively fought to defeat the Nazi regime his uncle created. This story challenges everything we think we know about loyalty and family. The name Hitler is synonymous with evil, yet William chose a radically different path. His journey took him from Liverpool to Nazi Germany, and finally to the battlefields of the war. William was caught between his infamous family and his own conscience. He struggled to prove his loyalty to the very countries his uncle sought to destroy. This tale begins before the war, when Hitler was just another family name. William's life was shaped by this connection in ways he never expected. He tried to use it to his advantage, but it quickly became a burden. His relationship with his uncle was a mix of opportunism and fear. Ultimately, William had to choose a side. His decision set him on a collision course with his own blood. William's story is about identity, loyalty, and the courage to stand up for what's right, even against your own family. It's a chapter of World War II history that's often overlooked but deserves to be remembered. Let's uncover the remarkable journey of Hitler's nephew, who became an unlikely enemy of the Third Reich. To understand William's story, we start with his family. His father, Alois Hitler Jr., was Adolf's older half-brother, who moved from Austria to Dublin and married an Irish woman, Bridget Dowling. William Patrick Hitler was born in Liverpool in 1911. His early life was ordinary, just another English boy, raised by his mother after his father abandoned them. The name Hitler meant nothing special then. Adolf was just a struggling artist in Germany. William grew up English, not German, and was known as Paddy or Willie to friends. But as Adolf Hitler rose to power in the 1930s, the family name became infamous. Suddenly, William's life in England was marked by suspicion and difficulty. Jobs were hard to keep, and the name brought unwanted attention. William began to wonder if his notorious connection could be used to his advantage. He decided to reach out to the family he'd never known, a decision that would change his life forever. The ordinary English boy was about to step into the heart of Nazi Germany. His journey would test his identity and force him to confront the meaning of family. The world was changing, and so was William's fate. The next chapter of his life would be defined by the choices he made with that infamous name. And so, William Patrick Hitler set out to meet his uncle. By the early 1930s, William was struggling in England. The Great Depression and his surname made life difficult. Seeing his uncle's rise, William traveled to Germany in 1933, hoping his family connection would open doors. He met Adolf Hitler, who was wary and saw William as an opportunist. Still, Hitler arranged a job for him at the Reich Credit Bank in Berlin. But William wanted more: power, prestige, and a better salary. He pressured his uncle for a higher position, straining their relationship. Hitler grew annoyed, viewing William as an embarrassment. William, feeling trapped in Germany, tried to leverage his position, even threatening to reveal family secrets. He allegedly claimed Hitler's grandfather was a Jewish merchant, a dangerous move. The gamble backfired, and William's situation became precarious. He was now stuck between ambition and fear, realizing he'd pushed too far. The nephew's German gamble was turning into a nightmare. William had to decide: stay and risk everything, or escape before it was too late. The stakes had never been higher. William's relationship with Adolf Hitler was tense from the start. Hitler, obsessed with his image and racial purity, saw his English nephew as a threat. William kept pushing for more recognition and a better job. At one point, Hitler offered him a high-ranking position, but only if William renounced his British citizenship. William suspected a trap. Losing his British passport would leave him at his uncle's mercy. The tension peaked when Hitler gave him an ultimatum: become German or leave forever. William realized he'd gone too far and that staying could be deadly. The dream of success in the Third Reich had become a nightmare. He'd seen the regime's paranoia and ruthlessness up close. There was no hope of favor or fortune, only the urgent need to escape. William began planning his departure, knowing the risks if he was caught. His gamble had failed, and now he was running for his life. The nephew, who once sought opportunity, was now desperate for freedom. The shadow of his uncle loomed larger than ever. William's next move would determine his fate. He had to get out, before it was too late. The escape from Nazi Germany was about to begin. In early 1939, with war looming, William made his escape from Germany. He returned to London but felt unsafe. Nazi agents could be anywhere. Realizing Europe was too dangerous, he seized an opportunity, a US lecture tour, sponsored by William Randolph Hearst. In February 1939, William and his mother sailed to America, seeking safety and a new start. On tour, William spoke out against his uncle, sharing insights into Hitler's private life and warning of the Nazi threat. His article, "Why I Hate My Uncle," published in Look magazine, was a public break with the regime. When war broke out, William and his mother were stranded in the US, settling in New York. The Hitler name followed them, but William wanted to do more than just talk. He was determined to take direct action against his uncle's tyranny, the next step, joining the fight. In America, William became a vocal critic of his uncle. His lectures and his Look magazine article exposed Hitler's paranoia, cruelty, and the fear that ruled Nazi Germany. William described being humiliated and threatened by Hitler and warned Americans about the true nature of the regime. He wanted to fight, not just speak out. After Pearl Harbor, William tried to enlist in the US military, but his name made officials wary. Undeterred, he wrote directly to President Roosevelt, pleading for a chance to prove his loyalty. "I am the nephew of the despised Adolf Hitler," he wrote, "but I believe we must fight his devilish ideology." William argued that his service would show the world the war was against Nazism, not the German people. His passionate plea eventually reached the right people. The US government faced a unique decision. Could Hitler's nephew really fight for the Allies? William's determination was unwavering. He wanted to turn his cursed name into a symbol of resistance. The answer would change his life and send a powerful message to the world. William was about to become the unlikeliest of American sailors. His fight against his uncle was about to get real. The world would soon see a Hitler in a US Navy uniform. After a thorough FBI investigation, William was cleared to join the US Navy in 1944. The irony was striking. Hitler's nephew, now a sailor fighting against Nazi Germany, William trained as a pharmacist's mate, providing medical aid to fellow sailors. He served with distinction, earning the respect of his comrades. Wounded in action, he received the Purple Heart, a symbol of his bravery. William's service became a powerful symbol. Even Hitler's own family rejected his evil. He served until 1947, proving his loyalty beyond doubt. William had not just spoken out, he had fought to bring down his uncle's regime. When the war ended, he was an American war hero. But the challenge of living with the Hitler name remained. William's next chapter would be about finding peace and a new identity. The war was over, but his personal journey was not. After the war, William Patrick Hitler was honorably discharged and knew he could never live a normal life with that name. He changed it to Stuart Houston and settled in Patchogue, Long Island. William married, raised 4 sons, and ran a medical lab business. The family lived quietly, rarely speaking of their infamous connection. The Stuart Houston brothers grew up as ordinary Americans, and none had children, ending this branch of the Hitler line. William died in 1987, buried alongside his mother in New York. He had transformed himself from Hitler's nephew into a respected American citizen. His story is a testament to the power of reinvention and the search for peace. William chose his own path, far from the shadow of his uncle. He found dignity in anonymity and family. The legacy of the Stuart Houstons was one of quiet defiance. William Patrick Hitler's life is a remarkable footnote in World War II history. Born with a connection to the ultimate symbol of hate, he chose defiance. He proved that blood is not destiny, a name does not define character. William's service in the US Navy was a powerful rejection of Nazi ideology. After the war, he sought only peace and anonymity for his family. He refused to let the Hitler name define his existence. In the end, his quiet life was his final victory over his uncle's legacy. William's story reminds us that history is shaped by individual choices. Even in darkness, there are unexpected acts of courage. William Patrick Hitler faced his shadow and emerged into the light.